Hey, everybody. I wanted to respond to a clip from Theo Von's podcast. He recently had on another comedian, Dave Smith, and these two guys are some of my favorite comedians. Dave Smith, he also does a lot of good political commentary. He's really good on that front. And so at the beginning of this podcast, they actually spoke about mixed race people and interracial relationships and families in general. So I thought it'd be good to bring this to y'all and let's discuss it. So in the video, they start off by talking about Candace Owens because they're both good friends with Candace Owens. And for those of y'all who don't know, she's a conservative podcaster. She's been, in the news a lot for a lot of different things. But she's married to a white guy and they have, I think, at least like 3 kids. That she's popping out babies like every 9 months, literally. It's crazy. So they're going to be talking about her family and her kids because they have a good relationship with her.
Good to see you, man.
You too, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Candace after. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Kids are so funny, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
Instead of playing hide and go seek, they'll play like who killed Charlie Kirk.
Come on, that was a good joke. For those of you who don't know, Candace Owens has been creating all kinds of content, trying to figure out who really took out Charlie Kirk. She was like really good friends with Charlie Kirk, and she worked with him on a lot of different things. And she's kind of been going down the conspiracy path. I haven't been really keeping up with everything that she said. I've just been hearing all the wild things, all the wild parts about it. I don't know the full context, but she's been having podcast after podcast talking about this, literally getting like 200,000+ live viewers. She's blowing up all over the place. And she's always talking about all these different kinds of theories that she has about what's really going on behind the scenes. So that's why this joke is freaking hilarious.
So that's the craziest thing about
Oh, shit.
about Candace's kids.
Their
Like
kids are talking about Egyptian military planes and shit.
yeah, like instead of pin the tail on the donkey, they're like it's like pin the small wiener on the Macron.
Yeah, she also, I think she's actually getting into legal trouble now because of the things she said about French President Emmanuel Macron's wife, like something about her not really being a woman.
Like yeah, they just have a different kind of like. I mean, yeah, she's their kids are
Here,
beautiful.
let me just turn this off.
They're beautiful children. I end up talking about them a lot. I feel like it's like a little. I'm like, dude, do not bring up that lady's kids again.
See what I'm saying? These people are fascinated by us, yeah? Because we're something completely different. We're something completely new. They're used to seeing just black people, just white people, just mestizos, just Asians, and then here we come, and we're like, oh wow, that's different, yeah? And they're fascinated. They can't help but marvel at us. Now, obviously, this isn't everybody, because there are people who think the exact opposite. They view us as disgusting abominations. They hate us. They actively work against us. They view us as a threat to them and their people. But let's not kid ourselves into believing that that's how everybody thinks. There are people who genuinely are interested in us. They actually like our physical appearance and they're interested in our lifestyle. So that's something to keep in mind.
Well,
And I've never gotten to see mixed children up close that much. Like I just don't get it. I've never had that kind of opportunity.
really?
Yeah.
You didn't.
It's weird because I think Theo Von is from Louisiana. Now, I'm not sure what part of Louisiana, but there's a lot of black folk in Louisiana. You got like Creoles in Louisiana. So maybe he didn't grow up around, the New Orleans, Baton Rouge area.
Didn't grow up with like mixed race kids?
Yeah, they had some mixed race, but a lot of them, the dad was gone or something. So
Yeah, I mean, that's
Okay.
they're mixed race. I mean,
Yeah, and this is kind of sad. So he's revealing that a lot of our families are notorious for not having a father. And this is not that surprising, the black dad, white mom combo is the most common, but it's also the least stable of all kinds of mixed marriages. And then also just black dads, they're very notorious for not being around. Even when they're paired with Black women, they have families with Black women. They're just known for not being around. The Black community in America is very notorious for having fatherless homes, and that very might well be the cause of a lot of the problems that they're having.
That's true. So one of the parents was gone. And I don't want to just blame it on the dad, but one of the parents was gone. But yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it where both the parents are around and it's like this functioning type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Now that makes sense. Mixed race functioning families. Those are rare.
Now, keep in mind that he's talking about Candace Owens. Okay, she's a millionaire, and she married a millionaire. They're like the upper of upper class. So that dynamic is just going to be different whenever you start talking about working class families, because now you have to factor in finances. You also have to factor in like educational levels, because if both people are upper class, they're most likely going to have relatively similar education levels. They're going to be similar socioeconomic status. And so working class families have a lot of other things that they have to deal with. So for example, Candace, she can afford to leave an area if it's racist. If it's hostile to mixed race families, she can afford to just pick up and leave. She can go find a race-friendly area, and finances won't be a factor. She can just choose to go anywhere. She can also afford to homeschool her kids, because that's what she does. Some other like upper class people, they will send their kids to private school, and they can afford to do that. They can keep their kids away from the race wars that are happening in American public schools.
Yeah, like something that could create a Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see too much of that. Weirdly, I knew, now that I'm thinking about it, I knew Black kids who had a full family together, but all the mixed race kids that I'm thinking of didn't have dads.
So yeah, and this is probably another one of those very uncomfortable truths about interracial families, specifically the Black/white interracial family. They tend to be more dysfunctional and prone to failure. And we see it in our everyday lives, and there are even studies to back this up. So I'll pull up a study here real quick. So this study is from Jong and Van Hook. It's called Marital Dissolution Among Interracial Couples. So we'll jump to the discussion portion at the end, and it says, mixed marriages involving Blacks were the least stable, followed by Hispanics, whereas mixed marriages involving Asians were even more stable than endogamous white marriages. Now, in this context, endogamous refers to single race marriages. So a white husband, white wife, that is less stable than the mixed marriage of a white and Asian couple, okay? So to all my Wasians and Eurasians out there, y'all take the W on this one. It goes on to say, in addition, Black husband, white wife pairings were found to be the least stable of all marriage types, okay? So this is like what I said earlier. The Black husband, white wife pairing is the least stable. Now, keep in mind, they're specifically talking about it being the least stable of all mixed marriage types, because I believe earlier in the study, they control for different variables, and it turns out that the Black-white pairing is actually about the same level of stability as the Black-Black pairing, yeah? So this is something that we're going to have to spend a lot of time thinking about, because I think this is a problem that needs to be addressed. It needs to be discussed, and whenever we talk about other races of people, specifically Black and white people, coming together to create mulattos, we can't have this kind of haphazard way of just saying, yeah, go ahead and mix. Like, I think we need to be a little bit, take it a little bit more seriously and start discussing what are the best ways to have multiracial families, interracial marriages. What are the common pitfalls that you're going to come across? How can you overcome a lot of these obstacles so that you can have a stable family? Because, like I said, this is the most common pairing, Black husband, white wife. And so there are a lot of you out there who have this configuration, and you're in a broken home, okay, or a dysfunctional family. And I don't want that for anybody. But specifically, I don't want it for mulattos. So I think finding ways to overcome all these different obstacles that our parents are going to face or future parents are going to face is really going to help us so that we don't have a ton of mulattoes in the foster care system and we don't have a bunch of kids growing up in abusive environments. Last thing I'll say, despite what you may think about Candace Owens, she seems to be doing a good job with her family. She's homeschooling her kids, and I think that's a really important thing. I think it's a very good thing. She's also, again, a millionaire who married another millionaire, so these kids are going to be just fine financially speaking. I don't know what her husband is like, but I hope that they have a functional family and that at least these mulattoes in this family won't have to go through a lot of the struggles that other mulattoes have had to go through.